What is up, YouTube? Rob from RP Model Railroads here, and today we're going to be unboxing another box from the Aaron Anderson shops to see what custom Ephrata Valley Railroad stuff is within. So, let's begin. Oh boy, packing peanuts. Gonna just set them aside to be reused. Alright, so I think we're going to start off with what appears to be a boxcar here. And actually I think the majority of this box, or a lot of the things in this box, are freight cars, which is awesome. That have been repurposed for the railroad. Okay, here we go with Ephrata Valley 8000. The standard 40-foot boxcar here that was repainted into somewhat of a jade green scheme. And then got some black sticker lettering and a nice red diamond logo. It kind of gives this thing a little bit of a Great Northern boxcar type of a feeling, to be honest, which is going to add great variety to the Ephrata Valley Railroad rolling stock, especially since it's a 40-foot boxcar and I don't have many of these. And this derelict boxcar looks awesome now. Alright, set that up there. Yet another freight car. Okay, here is another Ephrata Valley Railroad Tyco autoloader. This thing was actually really a mess before it got repainted, and it looks phenomenal now, of course, with its lettering. And up close, you can also see some details on top where the vehicles are going to be positioned on top of the autoloader. Some little black and yellow trim there, which just looks awesome. And the little white details, or off-white details, all around the autoloader on the railings here and also on the bottom. This autoloader looks awesome. Okay. Alright, and to continue new Ephrata Valley Railroad freight cars, here we have an Ephrata Valley Jade Green hopper, quad hopper, number 2004, ECM for the Ephrata coal mine with a black diamond logo. That's going to look awesome, especially once it gets some trucks to ride down the rails and hopefully a coal load. There we go. Alright, yet another repainted quad hopper for the Ephrata Valley Railroad. This is number 2003 in a more of an off-red sort of scheme. And it's got a pretty special logo. Up close you can see the Ephrata Valley Railroad's motto in print, service in style, Ephrata Valley. Then you can also see over here on the side of the hopper, a load of coal for the Penzie. This hopper just looks awesome, not only with the finish on the spray paint, which actually I was responsible for spray painting most of these, but also the finish on that diamond logo just looks awesome with the more of a charcoal gray interior diamond and then the white diamond on the outside, highlighting the Ephrata Valley Railroad's roster, or motto. Alright, there we go. These are some of the freight cars that I am most excited for in this unboxing. Alright, here we have an Ephrata Valley triple dome tank car. Ephrata Valley 5000. Super tanker on the belly of the tanker. This Tyco tank car looks amazing. And also has the chemical symbol there at the end of the tanker. And it's got the Ephrata Valley's black flag logo. This tanker is awesome, and it's painted in the same new color as the previous hopper that I just unwrapped. The Krylon Sand Red, I believe, which is a pretty nice color. And you can also see some silver detailing on top of the tank car and on the rails here and on the sides. Yes, this super tanker is going to serve the Ephrata Valley well. Looks amazing. Alright. And this one I'm equally excited for. Check this out. Another Ephrata Valley Railroad triple dome tank car. Repainted in a green scheme, a green color. with the Ephrata Valley flag logo in white and super tanker on the underside. These triple dome tankers look amazing. And again, this time we have safety yellow details on the railings. And besides the Ephrata Valley sticker lettering, we also have some silver detailing here and on top of the domes of the tanker. Yeah, this triple domer looks awesome. Another super tanker for the Ephrata Valley Railroad. Continuing with the new freight cars, we have yet another Ephrata Valley Railroad center flow hopper. Painted up in a simple sand red scheme or brick red scheme. And I'll get these packing peanuts out later. Labeled for fertilizer. So this is a special fertilizer center flow hopper with the black diamond Ephrata Valley Railroad standard logo and some silver details on the roof. There we go. This center flow hopper looks awesome as well. Okay. If we got more freight cars in here. Yes. Alright. This boxcar is actually a unique build from Aaron Anderson. Took a standard 40-foot boxcar that I repainted into brick red, and it's been converted into a maintenance of way tool car. You can see here there's a little window indentation in the side of the tool car, and on this side of the sliding door it's partially open, and you can see a railroad sign and a ladder. So this would basically be a tool car that would sit in the engine yard, or really it could be taken around the layout behind a freight train and still look good, as this still looks like a standard Ephrata Valley Railroad red 40-foot boxcar, which just looks awesome. Alright, moving right along, we have yet another repainted Ephrata Valley Railroad center flow hopper, or covered hopper for the Ephrata Valley, done up in a simple jade green scheme with the black Ephrata Valley Railroad flag logo and some black sticker lettering, and then also some silver details on top of the hopper, and some white details on the step ladders on the side of the center flow hopper shell. This turned out really, really nice. Yet another Ephrata Valley Railroad caboose. This is a bay window caboose that's been redone in the heritage red scheme with a yellow stripe. And you can also see some white details here on the side of the bay windows on the side of the caboose. Ephrata Valley 4591, as it's been lettered as a transfer caboose, as a matter of fact. And you also see the T for transfer below the window on the bay window caboose. This looks phenomenal. And I actually haven't opened this up, but I will. So this is from the McNeil Sign and Signal Company. Attention to the Ephrata Valley Railroad. For all your billboard, sign, and signal needs, do not cut. So we're just gonna take this off. Oh boy. That was not intended. Do not cut. Just gonna take this off gently and oh boy. Okay. Do not cut. So, we don't have freight cars in this small box. There's actually some pretty epic signs in here that I cannot wait to see. And hopefully I do not destroy them. Okay. So here's the first. It's a sign for the Ephrata Valley Engine Shop with a little, I believe, F unit, or either an F unit or a FA2, an Alco FA2 there. Engine shop. This is probably going to go right above the two doors on the engine shop in my rail yard for the Ephrata Valley Railroad. This turned out awesome, and you can really see the hand-painted details there that Aaron did. That hand-painted engine just looks awesome, and the lettering adds another level to this great sign. We have another sign here that was painted, Norristown Rail Yard. So this will probably be put on the outside of the Norristown Yard, where I store all my Ephrata Valley Railroad locomotives. Again, custom painted, which just looks awesome. We have an Ephrata Valley Fire Department sign, and again, all these are on, I think, pieces of cardboard, actually. Thin pieces of cardboard for the Ephrata Valley Fire Department with a hand-painted fire logo, which just looks great. And then probably the sign that I'm most excited for, coming right up. Here we go. This is all completely hand-built, I guess, if you will. Kit bashed, whatever word you want to use. An official Ephrata Valley Railroad sign. Ephrata Valley Railroad service in style. With the Heritage Red scheme, with the yellow stripe, the black EV diamond logo. And what I'm most stoked about, hand-drawn / hand-decorated little drawing there that pops up out of the billboard of number 55, double nickel. My favorite custom steam engine that I've done for the Ephrata Valley Railroad. It looks really great sticking off that sign. And here's the rest of the sign, by the way. And there's also a little bit of a lamp there on top of the sign. This just looks incredible. It really does. I mean, I saw the pictures, but this looks really awesome in person. And I can't wait to put this somewhere on the railroad it's going to be in prominent sight. I still can't get over how good double nickel looks on the billboard. That just looks amazing, popping out of the billboard. Excellent job, Aaron. I love these signs. They are going to really improve the layout. Continuing with the unboxing. Alright, and what you saw me unpacking there for a good while is this already custom painted Baldwin switcher dummy that I believe was made by Athearn, if I'm not mistaken. So it's already been custom painted by somebody else, so it is going to be getting repainted for the Ephrata Valley Railroad. I'll end up stripping the shell and brake fluid and probably repainting it later this year. So this was the perfect candidate to repaint for the railroad. I'm not exactly sure of the specs on this diesel, but I'm pretty sure that it is a Baldwin switcher. And it's a dummy, so it's going to make for a good locomotive to get repainted for the railroad, and also it's going to be a good dummy to trail behind some of my larger engines. Alright, I think the stuff I'm most excited for in this box is on the bottom level. Okay, so before I actually get to showing the car shell, we have a piece of paper here that tells us all about it. Okay, take a look at this. That's a pretty awesome drawing, if I say so. So, taking you farther with fewer stops. A locomotive out of fuel is a locomotive out of service. The engineers at Anderson Line Service have devised a way to keep road power running longer. The new auxiliary fuel car from ALSX can keep mainline locomotives on the road twice as long. Each of the fuel car's 2 compartments can hold double the fuel of a standard 4-axle locomotive. Keep your trains on the main line longer with the auxiliary fuel car. And that is a pretty great drawing there, by the way. So here we have the auxiliary fuel car. This is a repainted tanker that has been customized as a fuel car for the Ephrata Valley Railroad, sort of inspired by the Burlington Northern Railroad fuel cars that they would run between their locomotives. So this one is going to get trucks and the base, which I have already, and it'll see its new life as the Ephrata Valley 1541 fuel car for the railroad. Alright, save the 2 best things for last. Once again, this comes with a handwritten note from the Anderson shops. Alright, take a look at that drawing. That should tell you what we're expecting. If you can dream it, we can build it. The Ephrata Valley Railroad Double Cab F9, DC F9. We can build anything. Every railroad has its own custom equipment needs, whether it's rebuilding a locomotive after a wreck, constructing a custom maintenance-of-way machine, or designing an entirely new piece of railroad equipment, Anderson Line Shops has got you covered. One such custom example shown above is a new type of locomotive built for the Ephrata Valley Railroad. This engine, the Double Cab DC F9, was rebuilt from 2 F9 locomotives at the end of their lifespan. ALS joined them together per the customer's request and mechanically upgraded the unit to a GP35. This unit can now run a branch line single-handedly with no need for a Y or turntable. I like that. Contact your ALS dealer today to request a quote on custom equipment. So that is a custom letter about this locomotive that tells us a little bit of the possible backstory on how the DC-F9 came to be. And now, without further ado, may I present DC-F9, Ephrata Valley Railroad 222. This was made from 2 junk Tyco shells that I had, and they were spliced together after I cut them apart. They were glued together by the Anderson shops, repainted by me into Heritage Red, and then they got sent back to the Anderson shops to get repainted and detailed for the Ephrata Valley Railroad. This thing looks absolutely amazing. This is incredible. I had a dream that the Ephrata Valley Railroad could have a double cab F9 based off of the Australian B and A class double cab diesel locomotives built by EMD, or a division of EMD, for the Australian, I think, Victorian Railways and a few other railways. But just to see this come to fruition for the Ephrata Valley Railroad is just awesome. So obviously it's double cab, and this up here was added by Aaron to kind of cover over the vent that unfortunately got cut up when the shells were cut up. So unfortunately one vent got destroyed, but that serves as a cover of sorts on top of the DC-F9. But yes, this has been classified as a DC-F9, double cab F9. And the backstory on it was that it was rebuilt from 2 used F9s to be reused on the railroad. This thing looks absolutely incredible. Looks incredible. I can't wait to get this thing on my somewhat custom drive system that I've made for it and get it running around the railroad. Okay, and last but certainly not least, got something pretty awesome from Anderson Truck and Electrical. High Rail Division, delivered to Ephrata Valley Railroad, Philadelphia Yard. I like that. That should tell you what's in this box. It's pretty exciting. Starting with the first. Check this out, everybody. So, here is a custom Ephrata Valley Railroad maintenance of way truck. Actually, the first of 5 that have been done by Aaron Anderson. This thing looks absolutely amazing. The only credit that I can take on these trucks is painting them Heritage Red, and of course finding them. I'll put the link in the description box below from shapeways.com. There's a seller on shapeways.com that sells tons of different scale 3D printed vehicles that you could buy for your railroad. Particularly 1/87 scale HO, 1/160th N scale, and many other scales actually of different vehicles. And anyway, that particular seller is definitely trustworthy, and he produces some quality 3D printed models that you really can't get anywhere else in terms of the specific vehicle. So this is an old, either 40s or 50s Dodge utility truck that's been redone for the Ephrata Valley Railroad. With a bright yellow stripe, a white front end, and a Heritage Red body, this truck looks greatly like the Ephrata Valley Railroad diesels, which was the exact intention. You can see there up close the painted on lettering that was done by the Anderson shops on this little vehicle. This truck is going to look amazing on the railroad. Awesome, awesome. Okay, we've got more where that one came from. Okay, here we have a 1960s Chevy crew cab HO scale pickup truck. Again, a 3D printed model. All these are 3D printed. That was repainted for the railroad. You can see the bed is black there. Heritage Red with a white front end, which just looks awesome. And a yellow stripe down the side. Done up for the Ephrata Valley Railroad. You can see that detail on the rims, on the door handles, and also on the painted on EV lettering. This truck looks amazing. So it's a nice crew cab, 1960s I believe, Chevy crew cab pickup truck. This thing looks amazing. And again, these are going to get pretty prominent spots on the railroad. I just haven't figured out where yet. Alright, here we are with another awesome truck. So this one is a, I believe, 1960s or 1970s era Ford crew cab pickup truck that has been outfitted with some high rail gear in HO scale. The high rail gear is actually not 3D printed. That was custom added by Aaron on these trucks and on a few of them, and it looks awesome. Once again, the same Ephrata Valley Railroad scheme, maintenance of way high rail it says, with a black bed in the truck. There's the rear of the truck, and this says specifically maintenance of way high rail on the side. This Ford crew cab truck looks amazing. especially with the custom added high rail gear by the Anderson shops. Splendid. Okay, and we've got two more where that came from. Here we have a 1980s era Chevy Suburban, done up for the Ephrata Valley Railroad Maintenance and Way team. Once again, Aaron added some custom high rail gear that he came up with somehow. I'm sure I'll figure that secret out later. But yeah, it just looks incredible in this Chevy Suburban. There's the rear. No yellow stripe on this one. It's more of a, I guess you could say, later design when the Ephrata Valley Railroad decided to cut costs. Number 25, and there is the front. This Chevy Suburban high rail truck looks amazing. Okay, and we have one final piece to this unboxing. That is the last 3D printed maintenance and way vehicle for the railroad. Another Ford, this time a Ford stake body truck. Aaron added some custom details up in the bed of the truck, some different parts for signals and a railroad crossing, etc. But yeah, there's the stake body, there's the rear of the truck. And I forgot to mention that Aaron also took the time to detail license plates up for these trucks that look like old Pennsylvania license plates, which is just an incredible addition. Makes these even more realistic. And there's the side, Ephrata Valley. There's the front. Yeah, this stake body truck looks amazing. All the trucks look amazing, but especially the stake body truck. And considering I know where this came from when it was in just plain, undecorated 3D printed plastic to where it is now, it just looks amazing. Yeah, and I will showcase all the vehicles at once so you guys can see them. Once again, you can see the hand-painted PA tag there, if the camera will focus. Old Pennsylvania tag on the back of the Chevy Suburban. Same on the back of the 1960s crew cab Chevy pickup. And you can see it back here too on the Ford. And also on the Dodge. Can't believe I forgot to mention that, but aside from all the other little details, that special old Pennsylvania Railroad license plate really adds to these vehicles. I can't get over how awesome these are. These incredible. They look great. Alright. Well, that is the conclusion for this unboxing video. Thank you all for watching, and once again, a big thanks to Aaron Anderson for doing an incredible job on custom painting and lettering these various freight cars, the DCF9 shell, and the first 5 Ephrata Valley Maintenance and Way pickup trucks. Thank you all for watching.